Welcome to the EnergyGauge USA video tutorials. In these video sessions, we will show you how to input a building into EnergyGauge USA and to get a report out for the Florida code compliance. To begin, just double-click on the EnergyGauge USA icon on your desktop. First screen that we see come up is the project search screen. In this, you'll be able to create a new file or load the existing projects from below. We're going to create a new file first, so on the right where it says Project Options, just click on the Create New Project button. If this is your first time creating a new project, you'll get this message appear in front of you, just telling you that you need to put a reference city for the defaults. So just click OK. It'll take you to the preferences to where you can select reference city. In here you can just scroll through the list to find the city that best matches what you generally will be doing. These are only for referencing, so that when the software creates a file for the first time, it'll use these reference cities. At any time you can go back into the preferences and change them, and you can change them through the software by clicking on the climate page. Once you have the cities that you would like for the reference city selected, just select OK. This first screen is the Site Project screen. It will have just the general information about your house that you're creating. You'll also have your project title. So we'll first enter the project title, which will be anything that you would like that will help you distinguish it from any other file. And then you select the owner, and then the builder. Anytime if you don't know any of this information, you can just hold off and input it in later, like the permit office and the permit number and the jurisdiction, or with the rater and rater ID. If you do not have those, you can just leave them blank. The bottom line is a comment section. This won't appear anywhere on the reports. It just allows you to give a little description for yourself or whoever else might look at the file. You'll see the comment sections are on each screen as we go through the software. You don't need to put anything in there at any time. It's just a little bit of a helpful tool for you. Now we're going with the building information. The status lets you choose what kind of building you're doing. For our purpose, we're going to go with a new building from plans. The rotate building is for after you finish the file, and say you have the same building on a different lot. Instead of inputting it in again, you can rotate it to fit the orientation of the new lot. This will something that's only important if you use the same building on different lots, or if you want to try to rotate the building to help get a better E ratio for passing the code. For the time being, we're just going to leave that at 0. And then the number of bedrooms for the building I have, I'm going to enter 4, and the number of stories 2. Now I'm going to enter the conditioned area. This is the conditioned floor area of both floors, which will be 2,500 for my file. And the average wall height is 8 for mine, so I'm just going to leave that alone, and the conditioned volume is figured out automatically. Worst case deals with the rotating building. If you want to find the worst case, it'll run a simulation for each rotation of the building and then give you whichever the worst case is. And then the occupancy. For this, it's a single family home. We're going to enter in the street address for the building, and you will need all of this information to be input. And one last thing we're going to go ahead and check is the climate. It was just telling me that it had some new Florida locations chosen, and it picked a default for me based off of the defaults that I selected earlier. Now if I don't want to go along with the default I selected, I can just click here and choose a different area. And I can do that at any time. So if I want to move where this building is, I can just go here and change the climate and go back to the site and change the address.